Hey, what's Living Universe? My name is Zander, and welcome to our predictions. I'm, of course, Zander. I'm joined once again for another predictions contest by Ray Wood, who is currently the predictions champion.
You said
had we done payback, I swept payback predictions. Had we done payback?
Woulda, coulda, shoulda, Xander. Hello, my predictions. Ray Wood coming at you once again to predict All Out, the AEW show. And there's a lot of new people here because Xander was featured on, that, quite frankly, tyrant Luke Owens live stream last week. And I'm sorry, Mr. Davis, that my Luke has decided to betray you. But I am still the champion, and I will keep this channel safe from his greedy little paws. So let's go ahead and predict the show, because I'm clean sweeping it once again.
Well,
I won by 3 last time, baby.
If you guys want a bit more of an easier way to know who we are, that's Ray Wood. According to Jim Carnett, he's smart for a 20-year-old. And I am Xander Carver, the long-lost brother of Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful. Hashtag Xandermania for Quizzlemania. Hashtag FTF by the shirt. So, we're going to kick things off at All Out with a tag team matchup between the Young Bucks and Jurassic Express. I mean, I think it's a pretty easy one to predict. I got Young Bucks.
I got Bucks.
All right, well, up next, it's the pre-show match. It is a tooth and nails match between Big Swole and Dr. Britt Baker. Apparently, I will give you this preface first. Apparently, this is a cinematic match, which is why it's going to be on the pre-show.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen much of Big Swole. But because Kenny Omega books the Women's Division, I guess I'll go with Big Swole.
I'm going to go for Britt Baker. It just seems like something tells me she's going to win. I don't know what. But up next, we have an 8-man tag team match. That's right, an 8-man tag team match of the Dark Order of Mr. Brody Lee, Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, and Colt Cabana against the team of the Natural Nightmares, Scorpio Sky, and my boy, Matt Cardona.
I have the Dark Order. They've been on a tear lately through the company. I don't think they're going to stop it anytime soon. So I think the Dark Order are going to go through this match here. I think Matt Cardona is going to get a hope spot in. I think possibly this will be used to set up Matt Cardona versus Brody Lee for the TNT title going forward.
Well, great minds think alike, because that's what I was going to say, is the only way I could see the makeshift team winning is if Cardona were to pin Brody. But I see the Dark Order needs to win. They've been dominant. They destroyed Cody. So I don't just see the friends, families, cousins being able to just pick up the pieces and win. That would feel like it cheapens it a lot. Okay, so this is probably going to be the hardest match to pick, and we've actually got 2 predictions. So we've got the Casino Battle Royal, which includes over, I believe, 20 people, including who are each labeled by suits of cards, and that's when they enter. And so there is one TBD, which will be our extra prediction. So here we go. I'll do this as best as I can. Trent Butcher, Ricky Starks, Phoenix Santana, Eddie Kingston, Brian Cage, Pentagon, Austin Gunn, Sean Spears, Chuck Taylor, Mystery Entrant, Ortiz, Lance Archer, Jake Hager, Darby Allin, Billy Gunn, The Blade.
Part of me says Sean Spears, but that's just
winner gets a future AEW World Title match. Just to give you that bit of information as well.
And go through them again because you sang them.
Okay, yeah, I'll go through them one by one this time. The Blade, Billy Gunn, Darby Allin, Jake Hager, Lance Archer, Ortiz, Mystery Entrant, Chuck Taylor, Sean Spears, Austin Gunn, Pentagon, Brian Cage, Eddie Kingston, Santana, Phoenix, Ricky Starks, The Butcher, and Trent.
So, as of right now, I'm between the mystery entrant, or the mystery entrant is, and Brian Cage.
Right. Now, I would go on Brian Cage, but he already fought Moxley twice, is why I'm not going to pick him. Last time they did All Out and they had the Casino Battle Royal, Hangman was the mystery entrant, and he won. I feel like they wouldn't do that twice, right? I'm looking at this list, and Billy Gunn obviously won't win. Darby Allin, Jake Hager, Brian Cage, and Shawn Spears, I think, have all fought Moxley in the past. Excuse me. This is genuinely a tough one. Why don't we start with who we think the mystery entrant could be?
Okay, what are the speculation right now?
There's actually really none. But NWA people are open. People released on Black Wednesday that haven't signed yet with anyone are there. I've got to go with Rusev. I think is going to make his debut there. Or Miro, excuse me.
Miro, yeah. This might be a crazy prediction. I'm going to go with the mystery entrant being Nick Aldis.
Ooh, that's a good prediction right there.
Yeah, I'm going to go with it being Nick Aldis. Because there's been a lot of talks recently because NWA is shut down of them giving him the pass to go work for AEW and getting a couple matches with Cody.
Yeah. Right now, the Billy Corgan, I believe. No, wait, that's not the owner of NWA, is it?
It's Billy Corgan, yeah.
Billy Corgan's essentially saying to all of his guys, he's like, look, we can't run shows right now. I'm not going to hold you hostage like Lucha Underground did. Go wrestle where you can and go make money if you can. Yeah,
so I think Nick Aldis is on the short list for who Cody wants back to have a third match with.
Yeah.
Because they had the one where Cody won it All In. Then they had the one where Aldis won at the NWA Anniversary Show. By the way, A lot more people watch the All In match as opposed to the Anniversary Show match. And the Anniversary Show match is the All In match.
Well, I just to kind of stop us from holding up here. So you say Nick Aldis, I say Miro. Winner-wise, I'm going to go with Pentagon.
Pentagon.
Really? I'm going to go with Pentagon.
We'll go with Darby Allin.
That's a good pick. I'd love to watch him and Moxley mix it up again. I actually watched that match. It was pretty good. So up next, another match I think we're going to be similar on predictions-wise. The AEW Tag Team title match between Omega and Hangman versus FTR. Now, Ray, I know you don't watch week to week. Hangman was actually kicked out of the Elite on this past episode.
I actually did hear about that. I did. So I'm going to go with FTR at that point.
Yeah, I feel like that makes the most sense, right?
Yeah. They're going to change the belts. They're going to have Hangman and Omega be pushing each other. One of them's going to go heel, probably Hangman. Hangman's a lot better heel than Omega. And they're just going to go from there. Hopefully Omega gets the singles run we need him to and finally gets back to his New Japan attitude.
Right. And we were speaking of NWA a minute ago. Speaking of NWA, the AEW Women's Championship match, NWA Women's Champion Thunder Rosa versus AEW Women's Champion Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's Championship.
I got Shida.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it makes more sense. She's only just won the belt at the last special or pay-per-view that they did. She hasn't gotten to do much. Granted, the whole women's division hasn't gotten to do much.
Yeah, but she's Japanese and, Kenny has a fetish for that.
Well, up next is a match that I think is going to be one of the most entertaining on the card. A broken rules match. I don't know why I did the pose. No one could see me. A broken rules match between Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara, in which if Matt Hardy loses, he must leave All Elite Wrestling.
I got to go with Matt Hardy on this.
As do I. A lot of speculation is maybe Matt Hardy loses and comes back to AEW a few weeks later with a different gimmick.
Yeah, but how I see it going right now is he's probably going to wrestle Sammy, he's probably going to beat Sammy, and then they're finally going to do that program between him and Jericho that's been teased a lot.
Well, I think he and Sammy seem to be at a best of 5 at the moment because he and Sammy had a tables match a few weeks ago, last week, maybe the week before, that Sammy won. So I'm just playing this stuff with them.
I'm just saying this feels like it's building to a possible showdown with Jericho, which is what they teased when Matt Hardy got there.
Right, with Vanguard 1 flying down. So we've only got 2 matches left to predict. This one I think is going to be a lot of fun to watch. And I think we might go different on it as well, which is Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy in a Mimosa Mayhem match. You got the orange juice, and you got a little bit of the bubbly, which are going to be mixed into a pool outside of the ring, and you win by pinfall, submission, or throwing your opponent into the pool of Mimosa.
I got Jericho winning because I do actually think that him and Matt Hardy are going to go into a program together after this. So I think you want Jericho to come off a win.
Okay, well, I think Cassidy's going to win by throwing Jericho into the pool because Jericho doesn't lose much if he gets thrown into a pool of Mimosa. I think even if Jericho wins, Jericho's ending up in that pool of Mimosa.
Yeah. Jericho pins me when he dives into the pool of Mimosa for fun.
It seems like something Y2J would do. I love Chris Jericho, for those of you that didn't know.
Chris Jericho, Zander.
We all love Chris. Chris Jericho's great. And finally, the main event, a match that might differ on, might not, because we've already differed on 3 things so far. 4 if you count the mystery prediction for the Battle Royal. The main event, I think, of the evening for the AEW World Championship, Jon Moxley versus MJF in a match where the Paradigm Shift, formerly known as Dirty Deeds, also known as the Double Underhook DDT, will be banned.
I think I'm going to go with MJF.
All right, well, that's kind of what I was thinking. I actually had a feeling you might go with MJF. Like
I said Darby Allin, I think will win the Battle Royal earlier. I think that's a program you could get a lot out of between Darby Allin and MJF.
Yeah, and you say that, and I think that does make sense as well. Like, I'd love that story as well. I mean, they've already sown some seeds there with when Moxley and Allin did that title match a few weeks ago, where MJF was like, yeah, I'll pick up the pieces of Moxley. And they're like, what if Darby Allin wins? And MJF's response was gold. He was like, you think I'm going to struggle to beat up an emo kid? I'm going to go with Moxley. So, in the end, to run us back through the predictions, Baker versus Swole. Ray's got Swole. I've got Baker. Luchasaur, Jurassic Express versus Bucks. We both got Bucks. The 8-man tag, we both have Dark Order. Casino Battle Royal, I say Miro is surprise entrant, and I said Pentagon wins. Ray says Nick Aldis for special entrant, and Darby Allin wins. FTR versus Omega and Hangman, we both have FTR. Sheeta versus Rosa, we both have Sheeta. Cassidy versus Jericho, Ray has Jericho, I have Cassidy. Hardy versus Guevara, we both have Hardy. Main event, Ray has MJF, I have Jon Moxley. So, other than that, only other things we want to plug here. We started the Patreon recently. First Patreon podcast out. If you want to know more about the Patreon, we did an announcement video. I don't want to redo that whole video right now because that was a lot of time to talk about it all. But first Patreon podcast is up. If you want to go check that out, it's a lot of fun. And I've been Zander. He's been Ray. That's been our predictions. I'm bringing Goldie back, even if I have to smash the one I have. That video will come.
They say chase your dreams, but Xander's chasing something he's never going to catch. So I'm not too worried about it.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.